Chuck Hayes, professional basketball player for the Toronto Raptors. Just finished my 10th year. And first, I'm from here in Modesto. I was born in the Bay Area in Oakland, and my family migrated here in Modesto when I was in the 6th grade. But I want to apologize to you guys. I couldn't make it. I wanted to be there, but my job requires me to be at a different location. I'm currently looking for a team, and I may have to go do some interviews, but I still wanted to show my commitment to NASCO, to this event, because I support it. I'm with the movement, and once again, I'm sorry that I couldn't be there. Me growing up here in Modesto, I went to Modesto Christian, and I had a lot of teachers that played a huge part on my development, on my maturity. And one teacher that showed me a lot of just direction of what I need to stand as a man and as a Christian is my Bible teacher. And he always preached to us. His name was Mr. Sy. I want to say last time I heard he lives in Oregon somewhere, teaching up there. But one thing he always preached to us is when you get information, when you soak in knowledge, there's 3 rules that he used to teach us to live by. It's observation, interpretation, application. And as a sophomore in high school, I didn't get it at the time. But as I went on and graduated, and I went to college, and now I'm into the working world, I get it. And that's one thing I try to teach to my son, is that before you react to anything, you want to take everything in and soak it in and then kind of critique it. Then you apply it to your everyday life, and you apply it to your beliefs and your values. Then you interpret it and you go ahead and move on. But yeah, that's one of the things that a teacher taught me early in my sophomore year in high school was observation, interpretation, application. My favorite high school memory had to be my freshman year in high school. I had a death in the family, and the next day my parents still made me go to school, but I was affected by this death where it still struck a nerve. I survived as much as I can throughout the whole school until I broke down in my English class, and Mrs. Kazis, my English teacher, Mrs. Kazis, was consoling. She was there for me. She let me weep out my tears. She understood, and she let me go home. But just for her understanding of knowing the situation at hand, it means a lot to me at the time, and that's where I hold her in my heart. I hold her in a special place because at that time in my life, that's when she stood up and she was consoling, where the whole time I was supposed to be focusing on school, but my mind and my heart was somewhere else. My most influential teacher has to be my science teacher in high school, Mr. McGee. He was my science teacher sophomore through senior year. He was also my football coach my freshman year. But he was just a genuine man. He was sincere. And being an incoming freshman at a new school, I feel like his teaching and his words were meaningful to the point where I actually enrolled. I wasn't supposed to take his class my sophomore year, and I enrolled and I got in, and I made sure every year he was my teacher. And his wife was she was opening, and she was receiving and welcoming as well. And his whole family, he has a nephew named Ryan that I kind of took under my wing towards the latter part of my high school career, to the point where I still keep in contact with Ryan to this day. And another reason why he's so influential was when it came time to go off to college, he was the one, I used to talk to him all the time, and he was the one that was telling me, do what's best for me, and God knows where you're going to be, so don't stress over it. And it just so happened, out of all my teachers in high school and junior high, Mr. McGee is the only one that ever came to visit me in Lexington, Kentucky when I was off to college. Him and his wife came down for the weekend to watch a couple of games. And I remember I felt so bad because he came to my game and I had a terrible game. I must have had 4 fouls in 5 minutes, and it was horrendous. But it just shows that a gentleman that I met as a 14-year-old freshman back in '97, 7 years later, he's at my college game. He's there to support me, and it just meant a lot. He didn't have to. He done had a lot of students in his career, but he made a way and he made an effort to come support me in my college game. And him and his wife took me out to dinner, and I wanted to play great for him. I mean, I play for myself, I play for my family, but there's a lot of people that you'll go the extra mile for. And that particular game, I wanted to go the extra mile for my science teacher who came out to see me. And I had a terrible game and had 4 fouls. But yeah, he was the most influential. And we still need a golf date. And when we're trying to get together sometime soon and play some golf. But yeah, he's one of my favorites. You know, being from Modesto, being a part of this community, this neighborhood, I've seen it grow. I've seen some bad sides and I've seen some good sides. Me growing up on the west side of Modesto, then going to high school in Modesto Christian, it was a contrast of 2 different worlds. And as a young man, you know, you soak in a lot on what's going on in your surroundings. And so, what affects me in this community and what I'm passionate about, one is the Autism Speaks, the walk they do every year in October. It affects me because my younger brother, he has autism. He was diagnosed when he was 2 years old. He was diagnosed when he was 2 years old. And it affected the family, it affected myself. But, you know, I know it's a different world, you know, and I understand how blessed we are when we do have, as a parent, when we do have healthy children. And due to the fact that it affected my household every year in October or in the summer, whenever I get an opportunity, you know, I give back and I do the Autism Walk every project, or the Autism Walk project every year to support them, because I know it's a struggle. Not only it affects my family, but many households in this country. And the other thing meaningful to this community, this neighborhood, is this camp that I'm presenting and I'm throwing on every year in June. This is my city. This is my community. This is my neighborhood. I'm from Modesto. I was raised in Modesto, and I want to give back. I've put myself in a position where I can affect people's lives, and I want to do that. That's where I get my enjoyment. That's where I get my gratitude. And I put on this camp every year in June, and it's not to benefit myself. It's not to show all these accolades and this and that. It's strictly to give these kids an opportunity and let them know that I'm not untouchable, that I am them and they are me. And thanks again for letting me speak to you guys. I'm sorry I could not be there. I have a tough July ahead of myself. I'm a free agent, so I'm looking for a job. If I would have did better in school, maybe, you know, I could have been a teacher like you guys and be more influential. And also, my wife just had twins, so as you guys know that are parents, it's a 24/7, every 2 hours. They eating, they need nurturing, they need caretaking. So my wife, she needs me. I understand I wanted to be there, but please, thank you. Thanks for letting me send you this video. And hey, go Modesto. Thank you, Nasco.